I
Actually,
love
Good
it
morning,
when
good evening, good afternoon. This is a Kingdom by Cogs and Glass. Changeling 1920s. As you heard, we were talking shenanigans, and I accidentally, as the ST, hit the button. You may all proceed to yell shame at me.
Shame.
shame.
I don't have the bell.
I will not be doing a walk of shame in this scene because my brother is in this scene, and I am not a Lannister. We will start the scene with Vincent.
Vincent, he hasn't really been doing so well, honestly. Like, it's not like he's upset.
Are you at home or are you at the hospital?
Well, he has to work, so he's at the hospital, and he's just been sitting next to Mockingbird. He's just mostly quiet. Occasionally, he'll get a book and read to a Mockingbird, but even she could probably tell like there's just something different about him.
You hear a moment of rustling in Mockingbird's cell. She comes back over to the door and drops a bunch of mixed nuts on top of your head as you're reading.
He blinks, and he just quietly like eats them while muttering "thank you."
Don't be sad. It makes the meal taste worse.
I don't have any feelings. I don't think. I could be anything else but sad.
She just sighs. Not a winter, is all she says.
He just starts nomming the nuts.
That's right. Eat those nuts.
No.
Nebula, you're at work also. You've noticed Vincent's been a little different than normal. The children today have not really been able to get him to go into his castle. The king of Toyland is depressed as the children have been chanting to you.
I am going to take one of the I guess stuffies and kind of make it, I don't know how else to sit in front of Vinny and like walk the stuffy up towards him.
He tilts his head and offers a slight smile.
As you do this, you feel something patting your head.
Look up.
It is the very tips of Mockingbird's fingers. She has somehow got her arm past the elbow out of the feeding hole.
And she's patting Vinny's head?
No, she's patting Nebula's hair, like patting it, stroking it, gently trying to get it to move closer.
I'm scooting away. Because in my mind, Mockingbird is Vinny's patient, not mine.
No, Ruth's voice, come back. Let me pet soft hair.
No. I like my hair.
I won't bite. I promise. You notice like one of her fingers try to cross the other as she says that, but she forces them apart.
She'll shake her head. Like, no, I know better.
Tristan Bianca actually picked you up and brought you to the hospital, saying that Miss Nebula did good work, but you need extended service.
Interesting. So he's, not very argumentative and kind of in a good mood, ironically, because he just proved that he still got it as a fighter. So he's just like, agreeing with whatever they say, going along.
Ruth has totally grabbed his one horn he has left and is dragging him by it like it's his ear to his exam room.
Uh-huh. Just clump, just drag, clump.
Muttering how Nebula's friends are just big children in large bodies.
I don't know. I have some pretty positive and negative experiences with hospitals, so he's actually not resisting all that much or doing anything particularly childish. He's just like,
Hey, you should be okay because she got 7 successes for that medicine roll.
ooh, good. So basically, there's just, the claw marks on like the skull mask and everything. I guess that's being bandaged up now, though.
Yeah, like she says some of it'll scar, but other than that, you should be fine.
Scars always look interesting. He's just kind of like, kind of Gaelic, nonchalant shrug.
Vinny, you have a teddy bear booping you in the face, basically.
Vinny just kind of like takes the teddy bear and carefully just stands up. He's not really even talking all that much.
You see a clawed mirror hand pulling the teddy bear from you.
He kind of lets her have it and looks to her.
She starts to pull the head off, going nom nom nom.
He chuckles.
And she looks and sounds completely depressed when she realizes it's not food inside of it.
He knows how to do this. He carefully pets one of her glass shards where it wouldn't hurt him. There.
She makes almost a cat-like hiss sound, drops the doll, and darts further back into her cell. Muttering tricky meals.
He picks up the headless stuffed animal and just kind of walks over to Nebby.
We'll get it fixed.
No,
Little voice from the playroom of Henry. You better.
I didn't mean to.
Lord Snuggles did not deserve that death.
No, he didn't. I'll get it fixed.
They should just put her down, Henry says and walks back into the playroom further.
Sorry, I was the one who let her have it.
Nothing is so broken that it can't be fixed.
Yeah, the only thing really missing is one of its eyes and some of the floof from inside.
Vinny just kind of brushes some hair out of his face and looks to the side.
You want to talk about it?
There's no real talking about it, I suppose. It's just the way of things.
Yeah, the wound is where the light gets in.
He's gently rubbing his hands against his pants.
What is on your mind?
What all I I've forgotten. And what I can and can't feel.
And I would attempt to sneak and just be kind of social, but I'm about as inconspicuous as a truck hitting a train, so
Well, to give Tristan something to do, he sees his favorite monarch walking by with one of Weston's big glass bottles of an amber-colored liquid.
interestingly enough, he'll just kind of trot along. I brought something for that. You do seem like you enjoy your spirits on occasion. It's a
She blinks. Mary blinks, is like, no, this isn't for me.
well, you might enjoy it anyway. It's kind of a watermelon habanero jalapeno mix.
He doesn't really like spicy, but Greta might like it.
Well, that's who I was intending on giving it to anyway. Former soldier camaraderie and everything.
Yeah, like he'll follow her to her room where she's set up Louise in her bed and she's pouring him a very large shot glass of the liquid.
How bad does he look compared to last night?
He looks pretty rough still, but not as bad as last night.
Yeah, I mean, man's face basically got ripped off, like in an OFT off, gone. So,
Like, it's somehow been reattached, but there's also bandages wrapped from his forehead down it and his face.
how you holding up?
I feel like an elephant ran me through.
Yeah, I hear you. She hits like a truck.
The only other comparison than an animal I have is the first night I met Mary. Those axes of hers hurt.
Ew. And Tristan just kind of shudders. Well, if you get bored over here, I'll bring an occasional cigar and maybe a couple of my home concoctions over.
Oh, I could so use a lady from the spring court right now to distract me.
Well, that's definitely on the to-do list. And you know where the other reprobates are?
Like, he looks towards your voice even though he can't see you, and he's like, what?
The two that I'm normally hanging around with.
Oh, if you mean Vincent, he's probably near Mockingbird.
Interesting.
Nebula works here, so she could be anywhere.
So Tristan will kind of head in the direction of Mockingbird, kind of having a bizarre intellectual curiosity because he wasn't bleeding last time and she was already very interested in, what was going on there. So, yeah.
Okay, that's 5 successes for what she's gonna do. As you go by, you feel something sharp carve across your broken part of your horn. You feel it because it goes against the nerves.
Yeah, just a very, kind of stunned.
But like Vincent, as you're talking to Nebula, you can see Mockingbirds touching more prey.
I wouldn't get too close if I were you.
Okay, noted. And he's just extricating himself, slowly backing up.
In fact, Vincent, I kind of want you to do a wits and investigation roll.
Oh
So-
my.
Something. Do.
Sorry, I'm getting it pulled up.
No, that's okay.
Do.
I'm looking for something. I'm also trying not to have a sneezing fit.
People gotta sneeze occasionally.
Would acute senses apply?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it would since it's a physical bodily action.
Rolling 8 dice.
If Nebula wants to roll this, she can also. So can Tristan.
All right. What'd you
Vinny's
say it was? What's investigation?
Yes, wits investigation. I just told Vinny to roll it first because he's the only one with his eyes actually towards her.
Interesting. I got Jack nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Hold on. 3, 4.
With 8 dice, I only got 2 successes. Damn it.
That's enough to succeed. You're going to hear it before you see it, basically, with that success.
Okay.
So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. I got nothing. A 5, a 5, a 5, and a 2.
So the other two don't even notice it. But as you're talking to your friends, you almost don't notice it. You hear a faint lock clicking sound and the sound of snap of glass.
Vinny's eyes widen.
And when you look towards her cell, the door is open. She's no longer in the cell, though. And one of her fingers is broken off, sticking out of the keyhole.
Vinny swivels and pushes everybody back.
Yeah. Kind of taking me off guard a little bit, but okay.
I mean, Nebula, you don't know what's going on. You just think Vinny's being a jerk, pushing you
What?
until you get turned around.
What the hell?
Until you get turned around and you see what Mockingbird has done.
Yeah, I mean, I
As soon as
was
you see
already
him push him
backing
out of-
away, so he's just like,
So,
shoved me back against the wall, like.
Tristan, can I get a wits investigation again from you?
Uh-huh.
Tristan.
Just Tristan?
Just Tristan.
Okay, got a 9 on that one.
Okay. The other two are too busy trying to look around to find her that they don't actually spot where she's hiding. The next thing Tristan feels is something fluffy and soft pressed against his broken horn. From the ceiling above him.
Yeah, just kind of looking up, kind of like curiously, like.
That
Yeah, as soon as he,
image. And
as soon as he sees him looking up, he'll look up as well.
Mockingbird is literally using her feet to hold herself to one of the pipes, hanging off of it.
Well, that's a neat trick.
And she is pushing cotton into the broken horn that she stole from the teddy bear. She has found a use for the annoyingly soft white floof.
Kind of confused by the.
Can I make an empathy roll to see if this is actually an improvement?
Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. This is like super confusing. So
in fact, you could probably get a bonus dice because you're in the hospital you work in and you're doing something you're good at.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Like,
yeah, I mean, Vinny, you would get a bonus die also because you've spent plenty of time with her.
So then that's 3.
So empathy. So is it wits empathy?
Straight empathy?
Yes, with empathy.
Wits empathy.
So that would
With
be
a bonus die.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tristan, why are you rolling? You're not involved.
Oh, I'm not? Okay. Don't need to roll them.
You're busy with a changeling made out of glass, like caressing your broken horn and trying to stick cotton in it.
Yep.
I got 4 successes.
Yay.
I got 2 successes.
It's definitely better than her trying to eat him. You're not quite sure what she's trying to do, though.
Mockingbird?
She doesn't say anything. She's like muttering, "Come on, grow," while stuffing the cotton into it. But she doesn't understand what cotton is. She thinks, "Oh, it's white. His horn is white. This must be used to fix the food's horn." Because she wanted those horns for herself.
Oh.
Someone fixed one of her broke one of her toys. She literally sees you all as toys or food.
Yeah, so this is definitely humorous, but he doesn't have to be.
Literally, right now, though, lengthwise is almost the height of Tristan, by the way. Now that she's stretched out and not in a crouch position.
More comfortable up there?
Vinny and Nebula know last time they saw her not crouched, she looked about the size of Mary or one of the other teenagers in the hospital.
More comfortable up there? Was it getting cramped?
She pulls herself up and starts scurrying into the crawl space.
Ruth
looks out, mutters, "Oh fuck," and begins getting something that goes emergency mockingbird on the bottle. And it looks like a mix between water and little iron pellets.
Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.
At least that air vent does not connect to any of the children's rooms.
Where does it connect to?
To the lower hall.
with the out of character with the crazy, like the screaming people.
With the people who are only screaming because of Mary and Mockingbird. Because Mary literally puts her in a special Iron Maiden suit, like for bath time, and walks her through the hall, taunting the prisoners of who gets Mockingbird in their cell tonight.
Yeah.
Because everyone in that hall is like a high-level criminal. Like, they're insane, but at the same time, they need to be punished for their crimes, and they can't really just send them to a normal prison.
Right.
But it doesn't help that Mary fucking antagonizes them.
Yeah. Autumn Queen.
Autumn Queen. Hashtag Queen goals. Do what you want, bitches.
So Vinny will start walking to the hallway.
At first, it's eerily quiet. And I'm not going to make you roll because y'all got enough successes earlier. Nebula, you notice a lot of the doors are already open, but it looks like they've been torn open basically from the inside. Only 4 of the doors are not open.
I'm gonna look in the ones that have been torn open from the inside. One of them.
Can Vinny hear?
You
her?
can roll. Actually, yeah, you could probably hear her because she's using Mary's voice right now, saying come out, and play.
Mm-hmm.
The cells that have already been opened, most of them are still alive, but they're severely injured. Like, she's literally just playing with her food at the moment.
Well, all right.
Only 2 of them are killed. One of them has Bible papers from the Bible hung up all over his cell.
You said he's already killed 2 of them?
Yes, only 2 of the prisoners have been killed. One who looks like some kind of religious fanatic, and the other that has sketches of Rose all over his cell.
Ugh.
I'm gonna start trading and start hollering. I need. Get me a doctor down here. I need backup.
Weston is not in the building right now. He went to restock. So you get Ruth and Dumb Susie and some of the other big orderlies.
Vinny has been walking to where Mockingbird's going.
So,
But, like,
is it intelligence medicine, or is it what is it?
for what role?
If I'm going to basically start patching up the people that are still alive.
Oh, that'd be wits medicine. Tristan, this kind of reminds you of like stealthy military missions back in
Exactly.
the days.
Yeah.
And Mockingbird is not hard to find. Like, she's sitting in the far end cell, and she's literally just sitting there by the door, smiling at the man, and the man is literally in the farthest corner, pissing himself, muttering, "Get her out."
Mm-hmm.
4 successes on the first.
Each of those successes would count as 1 success, 1 patient. So
Okay.
you have four patients patched up, and Ruth has already patched up 4 also. So there are 3 left that need patching.
Vinny is going to kind of hide in the shadows and disappear.
There's another 2.
Yeah, so like she's slowly. Tristan, I don't know where you are. Where are you before I move on with Vinny? Are you with Nebula trying to help her? Did you follow Vincent? What?
Yeah, I'm following Vinny. I'm basically just trying to be sneaky-ish, so intelligent survival, I guess.
So Vinny would actually have like moved beyond your sight.
Yeah, like
So
you saw Vincent disappear. You're now by the cell. You can actually see in it where Mockingbird is like slowly, like a cat almost, a big cat, crawling towards this guy, pissing himself.
Mm-hmm.
She's not jumping at him. She's not clawing at him. She's literally fucking with him, which is, I will tell you now, based on your empathy rolls earlier, is an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's literally developing a sense of humor at the moment, even if it's a little morbid.
There are another 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another 5 successes.
They're all patched up. Like, a few of them are muttering, "We're sorry, tell Mary we're sorry."
Vinny has begun, like, Mary's right there. He goes to the other side of the room and starts beginning to claw the wall, like, while in the darkness. So it's just scratching sounds coming from the other end of the room.
Like, it's a predatory reflex you get to see of her turning and her ears twitching as she looks towards it.
She doesn't see anything, but he's slowly running the claws along the wall.
Unfortunately, Mockingbird does not like a face-to-face fight unless there's no other option. You begin to see her crawl back up the wall towards the air vent that leads to the crawl space.
Yep. He figured that would help. That would help a little bit. She's predatory, and so he is trying to make her go back to her room.
Yep. Intelligence survival roll came up with 3 9s.
Okay, what were you rolling for again?
Basically, just how to kind of get ahead of the situation and have, he's basically falling back on old soldier instincts is all.
Yeah, no, you're able to follow the sounds, but you still can't see Vinny because Vinny is using a contract.
Yep.
But you do see Mockingbird now crawling up the wall after hearing claw things. And you see a grown man in the corner of his cell covered in piss and tears and snot.
And just kind of comically, with this just kind of exasperated side, Tristan's just scooping this guy up and tossing him back in his room.
No, like, he was in his room. Mockingbird was in there with him.
Oh, okay.
He pissed himself because instead of just attacking him, she was toying with him.
Yep. So quietly, just very silently, just kind of shutting the door and just kind of like.
Yet, while he was doing that, Vinny was walking up and watching where she would exit from the crawl space.
She exits towards the children's playroom.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Nebula, you will notice, by the way, one of the cells, there's no body living or dead in it, but it's been opened.
who was in here? Like literally, that's the question you hear from the one that there's nobody in there.
Ruth has opened her little nurse's bag. She keeps strapped to her back and begun going through a little list of names. That would have been Danielle Rivera. Angelo claimed it was his little brother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Okay.
And, I mean, I assumed he would get out if the door got open, because that door was the only thing keeping him in there, because it was iron.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna start looking.
You can roll, Vinny. You notice she is literally not doing anything but watching the children that are all outside playing right now. She's watching them like a cat watches a mouse through the window.
Wits investigation?
Yes. Tristan, you notice quite a few of the people who have survived don't want to go back into their cells because of the air vents.
Yep.
Like, they're willing to go anywhere else but those rooms.
All right. So he's just kind of like herding the lunatics somewhere else.
Like, amazing to your mind frame, they're not insane. They're perfectly logical, as far as you know, based on how they're acting. They're just completely traumatized. Like,
Gotcha.
Ruth is muttering, like, rapist, kidnapper, murderer as they walk by.
So,
masturbator.
So Vinny, sorry, go ahead.
So this is more of a prison than an actual balmy insane asylum, huh?
Normally we are just an asylum, but those who show tendencies towards insanity during their criminal cases are sent here instead of the actual prison.
Interesting. Thank you for letting me know. That's actually very useful information.
You see some footprints, and as you follow them, they actually lead to the little side door where the trash cans and stuff would be behind the hospital.
All right, definitely investigating the footprints.
Yeah, and they seem to just kind of disappear into some bushes that are about halfway across the parking lot.
Oh, God. Was that to me or Tristan?
That was to you, Nebula. Now what are you doing, Vinny? Besides watching Mockingbird channel a kitty cat? Hello?
He muted himself.
Yeah, his phone or something may have gone off.
I'm hoofing it to the hedge.
Okay. Have fun. We'll do that when it's, we have a few more minutes. Tristan. The one that pissed himself is at the door, and he's now like, you're gonna kill me before she comes back. Right?
You want me to kill you?
You seem like you'd kill me in a nicer way than she would.
Well, honestly, as a soldier, I probably have and would, but I don't think the nurse would appreciate that.
Ruth is doing a measuring motion with her hands, like on, well, one hand, but then on the other hand.
All right, so...
She's like, no, don't kill him. His mother pays a lot to this hospital.
Well, there you have your verdict.
Well, I'm gonna be the next. Mary's gonna feed me to the bird. And he proceeds to cry again.
I didn't know people in our condition could grow. I mean, she seems rather large for that size of a person.
Well, Mockingbird is a very special changeling. She has multiple kiths. One holds the traits of what's called a hunter heart, and the other holds the traits of what Vincent is, a mirror skin.
Sorry.
No problem.
Now, so what are you doing with Mockingbird? Well, Tristan and Ruth flirt and chit chat.
Yeah, Vinny, he will slowly fade back into view and approach Mockingbird by her side,
Like,
watching
you
the
will
kids.
see occasionally her little claws tap on the glass like a cat's would when it's playing.
He chuckles softly.
She
You're very beautiful.
She literally jumps like a cat that's been surprised.
You're rather beautiful whenever I can see you in the light. Your fragments of mirrors can reflect light.
What is beauty?
Beauty is something people hold too much to their heart, but inspires people. You could eat beauty, I suppose, but
can you mate with it?
Do what?
Can you mate with it?
Yes, I suppose you could.
Then I guess it has a use.
He just kind of looks out the window.
She's pointing at the fattest kid in the group. That one will be my next meal. Someday, he will not be able to get far.
It would probably be best to let him grow a little bit before you eat him, though.
Yes, I will let him reach adulthood, but I don't think his fatness will go away.
He just chuckles.
So, Nebula can be seen through the window, Vinny, heading towards the hedge.
He tilts his head.
Yeah, she's literally in a she's hoofing it. She's running.
Mockingbird, would you come with me?
We hunt? Pointing at Nebula.
Yes, we hunt.
You seriously just sent a hunter heart after me?
No, not after you.
She licks her lips and proceeds to go outside after Nebula.
Then he runs after her.
The fat kid literally pisses himself a little because of how close she gets walking past him, and he starts to raise his hands to defend his neck and chest, and she just keeps walking. And that kid looks like his whole little, whatever years of life flew past his eyes.
Yeah, no, what you said is she pointed at me and goes, "We hunt," and you said, "Yes, we hunt." She thinks she's chasing me.
Tristan, you can see Mockingbird outside now climbing up the security fence of the hospital.
Okay. Rolling Dex Athletics to run my ass along.
Ruth is face popping, going, "Why won't that girl wear anything besides underwear?"
Yep. 10, 10, 9, 8. So very fast.
You reach the fence right as her body goes over the top of it.
And he's just trying not to bulldoze the fence. He's just climbing after
She looks back at you and goes, "Broken ones say, I hunt," and runs after a figure of Nebula you can see further in the distance.
Vinny is running right after her. We follow, not Nebula. what she hunts.
Mockingbird scrunches her face. Better be tasty. And proceeds to climb into the top of a tree and follow along that way.
Okay. Yeah, Vinny follows too.
You don't reckon it was the monster thing that... And he's just, climbing over the fence laboriously for his freaking giant size. I mean, he could probably hop over the damn thing, but
Vinny's taking Mockingbird out for a walk. Oh my god, this is a terrible idea.
That's half the fun, though. Seriously,
I'm gonna give you this while y'all are following Nebula. This is the happiest you've ever seen Mockingbird.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's developing humor and has some kind of joy about it.
Okay, that's 8 successes. Nebula,
yes.
I need you to roll your Dex Athletics or your Stamina Athletics, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. I'm at a 1, so you know what? Screw it. I'm going to spend a willpower.
That's
to add a
fine.
dice.
I'm enjoying the mental image of Vinny going, oh god, no, what did I release?
Please do not be a dip dork to me. Oh, thank God. A 7, a 9, a 7, and a 3, so that's 1 success.
You have a really good pace, and you're not out of breath. You're doing so good. Then you feel something hard and sharp tackle into your back and knock you face forward into the biggest mud puddle you've seen in this area.
What?
It is
Vinny's running.
What has tackled you is now petting your hair, going, I hunt. What do we hunt? You have a mockingbird pinning you onto your stomach, just sitting on you, petting your hair.
Whatever was in the room that doesn't... What was out of character? What was his name?
Daniel Rivera.
Daniel Rivera, the one that got away.
You will see her reach into one of her only 2 garments she wears, a bra and pair of underwear, reach into the bra and pull out a lock of black hair and start sniffing it. And then she darts into the hedge.
And I'm going after.
So is Vinny. You see Vinny jogging.
Kristen, you finally caught up. I did that so you could catch up with the party. So
Yep. So,
and you got to enjoy watching Nebula be face forward in mud.
Exactly. It's not that he was having trouble keeping up. It was that he was having trouble running and laughing his ass off at the same time. Just
and Nebby is nonplussed because she is now covered in mud.
At least your backside's clean.
Yeah, because otherwise that would be really, really bad. That's infection.
You notice the path she leads starts to look more and more like cake and candies and whipped creams and such.
Heading home, I guess.
Vincent, you are reminded very heavily of certain childhood fairy tales that disturbed you for many years. You did not have the memory until you saw this scene, and then you remember a voice reading you a story of a witch and 2 children. I will be right back. I have to let the dog in.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah.
We get to see some action from Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's quite pleased.
This is just endlessly amusing. Meanwhile, Tristan's just like, oh, she's
You know what? You know what, Vinny? You're explaining this one to Ruth.
yeah. This is totally on you.
Hey, you know what he's gonna tell Ruth?
What?
She was talking about hunting kids, or she was talking about following Nebula.
Good justification. So, yeah, you get to see the fucked up place where Tristan lives when he's not in his apartment.
Do you think Ruth would appreciate Vinny's answer?
I'm back.
Situationally.
Okay. So we're approaching that witch's house.
Yeah, but at the entrance of it, Mockingbird's waiting. She got distracted by swatting little balls of light.
And actually, Tristan will kind of grin and give her like a little bit of an after you gesture. Just like,
Vinny's keeping this in mind, that her behavior is like a cat.
It switches between bird-like and cat-like.
so you're a mix-up too, huh?
She actually stops crouching, and for a moment, you see what looks like a towel that's been rolled up and tucked in her lower garment.
Interesting.
She looks around, she sniffs again, and she runs into the labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
And not towards the cottage, towards the deeper parts of the labyrinth you haven't fully explored yet.
Oh, joy.
Uh-oh.
Joy of joys.
Yeah, Vinny's following.
Is Nebula following?
I'm following.
While wiping mud off?
Yes.
She's probably cursing under her breath.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see how bad home gets.
You go further in, and you chase after Mockingbird, who's taking random turns to your eyes, until you come to what seems like a little clearing, and it's got a fountain that looks like it's made out of black stone in the middle, full of red liquid. And on top of that fountain is a black statue.
Vinny looks up at the black statue.
Does it look like the black statue that I've seen before?
Hold on. It looks like a middle-aged woman with her hands raised to the sky. But instead of red tears coming down her face, they're like a dark purple.
And it looks like that same statue we saw in the...
It doesn't look exact. It's not a, spring queen, as they called it. It's you'd put her at like maybe her 50s.
Yeah, so
wearing like a robe and has a staff strapped to her back. Which Mockingbird is circling the whole clearing, looking very confused right now.
Confusing scent trail, huh?
It stops.
It stops?
It stops, and she points at the fountain.
Can Vinny investigate the fountain?
Yes, you can roll a wits investigation. Difficulty 9.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll 2 to help?
Yes, you can. If any of you wish to assist, you can.
Yep.
Do we want to do an assist roll?
Nebula and Tristan are.
I got
so you guys want to roll first and then I'll roll afterwards?
You guys can all roll at the same time, because what it is, how I do it is I just take how many successes each of you got, and it's counted all as the same roll of successes.
Yeah, I got a 1.
Okay.
I got a 1, a 2, a 8, and a 3. It is no successes from me.
Me neither.
Oh.
Ones don't cancel.
Oh, I thought you said difficulty 9.
Oh, yeah, no, I did. Never mind. I had a brain fart there. That's what I get for doing this on 4 hours of sleep. So maybe
if you want to give me an 8.
Huh?
I said, but if you want to give me the 8.
Nah.
Make it
You're
easy.
completely dumbfounded. By the way, this is the liquid in the fountain is too bright a red to be like blood. If it is blood, there's something off about it to be that red.
Yep.
It's
So
Jello shot red.
Yep. So
Vinny got 2 successes.
Okay, so 2 successes. How many did Tristan get?
absolutely jack nothing.
Okay, so 2 successes. It is quite similar in the glamour as the statue in Tiny's home.
Well, I figured that.
You need to ask what specifically you're looking for. Like, are you trying to figure out why the scent stopped?
Yes, like he's trying to figure out like if he can figure out where everything is going and
I
everything.
mean, you literally saw footprints. We'll say you see Mel barefooted, size 13 footprints. Literally go to the fountain and stop.
Vinny will reach his hand into the liquid.
Okay.
Oh, God.
At first, it's a nice tingling sensation, and then it starts to spread up your arm beside it by itself.
Ugh.
Like, it is, like, once it gets to your shoulder, it starts spreading out, and, like, part of it trying to go to your face, the rest going down your chest towards your pants and legs.
I'm going to try and actually get him away from it. Like, tackle him.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Tristan's like, how do I rescue statue without touching liquid? Be very crafty now.
I drink it, Mockingbird says.
Don't
Don't.
touch it.
I wasn't planning to.
No, that was to Mockingbird.
Like, she's literally now just perched on the edge of the fountain, staring down at the liquid.
Vinny's gonna look at his hand.
It doesn't look like it's hurt, but there's like these, like your veins are like swollen up.
Would this be a medicine roll or would this be a...
This would be an occult medicine roll.
Can I roll what's occult?
You can try. We'll see how the dice gods treat you.
What diff do you want to make it?
This is a diff 9 also.
4 successes. Because 10s are still double.
There's nothing wrong with him medically.
4 successes.
There is nothing wrong with you medically. It's something glamour related. It feels a little bit like the goblin contracts you've seen around the market.
So, I've been affected by a goblin contract by touching that.
Yes. You're not sure what it did, though.
Tristan looks down to Mockingbird. Are you fairly strong, dear?
I am strongest.
So I'm going to give you a boost on my shoulders, and you're going to get the statue thing.
She'll nod. By the way, she used Tiny's voice when she said that. Because mirrors, they have to mimic.
Yeah, he just basically, tries not to break into a huge grin, but he just, does exactly that. So,
lifting her up, she tries to do it without hurting you, because right now you guys have taken her outside, so you're her best friends ever.
Yep.
But you do get some little nicks on your fingers, because her body is literally, fucking hedge glass.
Yeah, and compared to, what Josie did to ring poor Tristan's bell, it's probably, hen scratches, little bitty nothings.
No, she's you can tell she's trying, all three of you can tell she's trying to be very gentle with the broken one, which is what she's been calling Tristan the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I need
All
you.
right. Do I need to roll strength athletics?
No, she's not that heavy. She's literally 130 pounds.
Alrighty.
I am rolling my own strength check right now, though.
Vinny just kind of like carefully stands up.
Okay.
We need to get you to Mary.
While y'all discuss that, you hear a grunting sound as a statue is pushed off the top of it because she could not lift it.
Oh boy.
It does not break.
Yeah,
Because
I didn't figure. I
all-
figured this Jello stuff kind of.
No, like in fact, it literally does. You know when you like push dominoes over, how they do that little flip thing and they leave the space between one domino and the other?
Uh-huh.
The fountain is the space.
Uh-huh.
She didn't actually hit that red liquid.
Mm-hmm. So, stepping around the fountain and picking up the statue.
Okay, that's fine. It's only 200 pounds, so I'm sure you can handle that with your massive size.
Yep.
Vinny is just going to be kind of like opening and closing his hands and kind of like moving his arms to feel like if anything's different.
There doesn't seem to be anything off, but you have noticed the platform in the middle of the fountain now has a mockingbird on it who's leaning like 3 inches from that red liquid, deeply inhaling.
Mockingbird.
Inside, she says, pointing to it. I smell him in there.
Vinny like hurries over that way.
Like you don't see anything, and you can see straight through it. It's very translucent for the coloring. But she is looking very confused right now about why she smells him in there but does not see him.
Can I roll something to figure out what's going on?
You could try. What are your contracts?
Oh, God. Read lucidity, shared burden, walls have ears, trivial reworking, vow of no compromise, and fortifying presence.
I don't think any of those could help. You could try a wits occult to see if you maybe have an idea, but it's going to be a difficulty 9 because you don't have anything to aim towards that. Vincent, for the actual red liquid, now that you've been experimenting with it, your difficulty, if you want to roll, also goes back down to 8.
I have a question.
9?
For you, Nebula, yes. What is it, Vinny?
Can Vinny meditate on it and see if he can have a clairvoyant insight on it?
You can try, yes.
Okay. I'm not quite sure how this works.
It doesn't seem like it's hostile in nature. It is a goblin contract, but you're not sure what it's been set up for, but it is not anything violent, amazingly. By the way, your pixies are calling that statue Yaga.
Yeah.
They're like petting her stone head, asking what happened and stuff like that.
Yep.
They do not understand the statue will not talk back.
Yep. Exactly. Meanwhile, Tristan's like, I wonder where the property line of this thing ends. Is this fountain related at all to the labyrinth and vice versa? He's just like, it's probably huge. It's an underground complex that goes all around the city, so...
I mean, you could technically leave the statue here and explore some if you wanted.
Well, he doesn't want to leave the statue. He's just kind of going to set it in, somewhere where it's safe because he knows that, basically everything in the labyrinth is going to try and want to keep it safe. All right,
It
looking around.
It says for Vinny, like to do his diviner, he has to enter a dreamlike state. So he was like going down to meditate, and he has to enter his own bastion. I don't know how to do that.
It's similar to your own hollow. It's just a mental one.
Okay.
Think of it as your own like subconscious lucid dreaming. That's the best way
And then
to treat it.
and it says I can get 2 yes or no questions based on the topic.
Okay, that's fine. That works. Your pixies have formed little balls of lights lighting the pathway, whichever one you go down. By the way, Tristan, so you'll be able to find your way back.
Thank you very much. And basically, he's just going to go westward to, away from the fountain, just further into the deep, dark, spooky shit.
It's a very odd, dark, dank space with lots of skeletons and goblets and long tables and battle axes and bows around. And in the middle of all of that is a square piece of stone with a stone slab on top that says, "Do not open till Golconda is found."
And he's just kind of looking at the weapons like, if I had any sort of hand-to-hand training, this would be super useful. And he's just kind of like...
Yep. I can hear Nebula going over the... Nebula's player going, yes, over there.
Yeah. Vinny right now, he like went into like a meditative like sitting position, and Nebby and Mockingbird will notice Vinny's eyes gloss over into mere like orbs, and his mouth slowly opens.
But Mockingbird looks for about a second, then goes back to studying the red liquid. Like, it's got to the point she's using a stick from the walling now to poke it, and she's watching it disappear as the red stuff goes up it.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny then asks, yes or no questions, correct?
Within reason.
Tell me, what does... he like takes a deep breath. He almost like asked a question that wasn't yes or no. Let's see.
While he thinks on that, Nebula, you can now see what looks like a horned rabbit being lowered into the red liquid.
I'm not really going to do anything other than observe.
It literally climbs up till it reaches the horns, which at that point, Mockingbird lets go, and it just disappears.
By climbing in the liquid, I will find where I need to go, correct?
It says no, but it sounds confused.
Okay. There is a path that lies beyond the liquid.
Yes.
And that's his 2 questions. He slowly gets up, and Vinny walks over to the liquid.
Yeah, like, as you walk over there, you have noticed she has somehow stolen a lock of Nebula's hair and is trying to lower it into the liquid now.
Vinny just goes into the liquid.
Nebula, you see him just plant himself into the red liquid.
Wait, what? God damn it.
And he disappears.
I'm going to follow after him because apparently he has lost his ever-loving mind and he's going to be in there by himself.
I follow or I stay, Mockingbird says.
Follow?
Follow.
She dives before you even reach the fountain fully into the red liquid, screaming "wee."
I love Mockingbird.
This is uh yeah, you could roll a dex stealth.
Dex stealth. Okie dokie doodle.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure larceny's not on your sheet, or I would have you roll that.
Which is a shame because my other kid is very awesome for larceny. Got a 10.
The room you all arrive in is like a damp smelling cavern, but the walls are covered in some of the most beautiful sheets of silk you've ever seen. And they unroll to the floor and then across it like carpet. There's pillows and a very large, about 12-foot tall hookah, and a throne-like chair above them all on the platform, with a figure sitting in it, and another figure in front of it kneeling.
Oh my god, it's Angelo.
Oh, God.
There are topless, faceless women serving drinks. Their faces are smooth, as if no eyes, no nose, no mouth.
Of course, it's fucking Angelo.
But they have the most appeasing, like, Vinny, they're not even your type, and you can admire the beauty of from the neck down.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about them that's beautiful, to the point Mockingbird's now following one of them around.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying anything, just being a creeper.
Alright. Well, my dex is abysmal, but I got a 10. That was like the one dex dice I got. So
You get the axe. You start to admire it and like walk around the room with it, and as you get close to the entrance of the room with it, you can hear stone sliding against stone.
mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Yep. So basically gonna try and baseball slide under before this room seals me up here.
It's not actually ceiling. One of the stone slabs of flooring beside the stone box has pushed aside, and a skeletal-like figure is coming out of it.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't steal things from tombs.
I know that as a player, but Tristan basically does
If
live
you
here,
do
so
me the
he's
favor,
confused about what's technically his and what ain't.
hey, I need Tristan to roll a wits investigation, well, wits empathy to notice something about it.
Sure.
And while you do that, Vinny, what are you and Nebula doing?
Vinny will kind of look around the room and see if he recognizes anything similar.
The similar to the fountain or similar to the real world?
No, similar to anything that he recognizes, like
There pinned on the wall by knives is a torn up skirt of Josie's. And it's
yeah.
surrounded by all sorts of other random trophies pinned by knives.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. This is freaking Angelo's place.
I'm going to give you this without you rolling. You're also no longer in the hedge.
Oh, God, no.
Like, the entrance of the room you're standing on is literally the barrier line of the hedge. If you take any more steps into the room, you're going to be into a small pocket of Arcadia.
Oh, no.
Tristan, when it opens its mouth, growling the word Golconda, you see rows of jagged little fangs.
Having no context for this, he just points to the axe Golconda? Like, is that the axe's freaking name? He just like
Paradise. It says crawling towards you now weakly.
okay. And He just kind of is like, extending the axe out for it to take it back. Like, what, do you want this that
Can
badly?
you
Like,
roll your Dex Athletics for me?
yeah, all right, will do.
Well, I know 2 vampire players in this scene who are just steeple figuring so hard right now.
Uh-huh.
Dex Athletics, and let's see how that goes. And 99111. So shit.
You manage to let go of the axe right as this thing bites onto your hand. And it's not
Mhm.
a painful bite at all, but
Yeah.
this is an ugly ass bitch biting your hand and making a sucking sensation.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Tell you what it is.
Mm-hmm. In character, he doesn't know shit about Chinola. He's just like,
No, you wouldn't know actual lore, but vampire stories were really popular when you were immortal.
yeah. He's
So you have an idea of what this might be.
yep. All right. And basically, I'm gonna be rolling strength brawl, like no free lunch, and just kind of like, gentlemen duel smack. And I'll let you know how well that goes because that 911, that was terrible. And 8, 10, 9, 5.
You smack it back, and it actually flies back to where it was originally entombed by that big stone box that says "Don't open till Golconda's found." It
All
takes
right.
one look at you, licks your blood off its lips, and starts to push the lid off.
Mm-hmm. Well, since I fed you, I'm taking the axe as payment. Fair deal.
You see its hand go into there and pull out a very large, ornate iron sword. And the handle looks like it's got gold entwined in it, and it looks like a giant serpent intertwining itself.
Oh,
Mm.
oh my god.
oh God.
Take it all. You like it, don't you, bitches?
Why'd you have to go alone? Dude.
And we're gonna switch back to Nebula and Vinny for a moment. Nebula, you have actually noticed the statues that Vinny has originally noticed now. And you can also see that nobody's really caring that Mockingbird is here. Most of the people with faces are just avoiding her, and surprisingly, all the centerpieces she admires until she gets to one of a sphinx stuffed in the middle of a table, and she looks like she's ready to burn the place down.
Yeah, Vinny follows Mockingbird. And
Into a
he's stepping
pocket
into
of Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Are you serious?
What's that?
I said into a pocket of Arcadia. Are you serious?
Well, he's not leaving Mockingbird.
Who
All right.
kill everything in the room? As you guys join Mockingbird, you hear a voice clear, and he goes, "Well, well, well. If it isn't my favorite little tarts."
She's gonna wince.
Hello, Angela.
Feels something cold and wispy just brush across her chest and up her neck.
Oh God.
So good to be home.
How'd you find your way back here?
Oh, see, there were precautions keeping me from returning here, but those precautions were removed from the barrier points by changelings. Changeling hands move the sacrifices. I get to go home, he says with a very sick smile. I have to thank you. I'm assuming they're still stone. You know how long it took to trap those things? Especially the old one. Old hags who are normal humans shouldn't live in the hedge and shouldn't throw fireballs at their betters.
So you just turn all these people to stone.
Well, not personally just me. When I was exiled, I thought it was the kindest way to handle my exile and guarantee to my brother here and the others I wouldn't return to Arcadia. But see, what little Daniel here didn't understand is that barrier had a lovely clause. He didn't get to go back either. But I mean, he's free. The women have been moved. There's only one barrier point left, and once that's gone, I'm gonna have so much fun dragging you back to the grinning man, he says, looking right at Nebula.
Vinny steps in front of Nebula, and he
I
just
gave you a
stares dagger.
I gave you a chance, boy. If you want to worship me as the god that I am, then you better get to work, because you've already offended me. Oh, see,
I
everyone.
feel like you just took offense by my presence.
I took offense because you don't know your place. And a nice censored way to do this is he snaps his finger and his brother starts doing a Giovanni act, and that is all the details I'm putting into this.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Because Angelo is literally my most fucked up antagonist.
Where is the other mirror skin?
He doesn't seem to pay her any attention, to the point you have seen her crawl up the wall behind the silk sheets and is crawling slowly towards Angelo.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching this. And then like the eyes dart down because it's like, oh my god. Because all that's in my head is
They're
a
brothers.
picture of like my head on as a chandelier topper.
Ha. So I need to roll his defensive roll. Oh, poor Mockingbird. Ow.
Oh Jesus, she's
Oh.
seriously gonna go up.
She goes to hit him, and what looks like wispy shadows around him have blocked her. And you hear a cracking sensation as her hand is literally snapped.
Vinny screams and runs after her.
You don't have to. He literally tosses her back to you and goes,
He like,
"Are you fond of my slave?"
he kneels down and like carefully holds her, even if he's getting pricked.
She's too busy to notice she is literally licking her hand where it is snapped and almost completely broken off, trying to mend the wound. It's sad that her and Greta both came out wrong, isn't it? Tell me, how is Greta? Did she heal from Josie?
Vinny's
I'm basically going to ignore this. Is there anything I can use to help Mockingbird?
The tables are full set with like some of the best chinaware you've ever seen, made out of gold and silver, napkins. You have chairs, you've got the silk all over the place. Angelo is slowly felling his willpower because the fact he does not like to be ignored. And while you guys handle her, we're going to flip back to Tristan.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan, it is slow shambling towards you with that very nice blade. That is possibly the nicest sword you've seen since you were knighted by the queen.
Well, interesting little conundrum we find ourselves in.
If you want to also make a wits occult roll, you can probably understand some of the symbology around the room and on the weapons.
Sure thing. Do. 9, 10.
You know it as the Norse Great Serpent.
Jormungandr. Well, aren't you a sad son of a...
Like, you have actually started to notice, because it's very slow and it's moving, that everything in the room has some Norse relation.
Mm-hmm. And he just kind of looks at the sword. Fang of a serpent, huh?
It stops because you know what it is, and then it continues shambling towards you, muttering, "If you're not here for Golconda, you are food."
Interesting.
Slow.
And just Tristan's going to basically do a bit of a Dex athletics trick and huck the axe at this thing's head.
Do it, roll, bitch, roll.
All right. Dice gods, don't fail me now. Do.
Nebula, you use a fork and a butter knife to make a splint with napkins. And a hairpin that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
10.
Already tried to stand up and go for another blow, by the way.
All right. 10, 10, 9, 8. So this thing might be getting an emergency headectomy via battle axe.
Actually throw it at just the right angle, it goes through the neck. Clean cut. And the next thing you see is it go into ash.
So he picks up his axe, picks up the sword, and is just whistling his way on back.
Like, the only other thing you can see is there's something wooden sticking straight up out of the stone box. But other than that, it's just normal weapons around the room and armors and shields and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I need a map. I need to make a map of this place.
I'm working on a map for it right now for you.
Mm-hmm. You are a wonderful lady.
Back to our other two dealing with a truth, eh?
God almighty.
Not at full strength. Because he's not all the way back in Arcadia yet. And he's begun slow clapping as he spreads his arms out. He goes, does my little hunter want food? I've got something you can eat. And his hand, like, going towards his pants. Yes, and
Vinny,
trying to antagonize.
Vinny like stands up and puts a hand on Mockingbird's shoulder. He would taste foul.
I know, he's always tasted foul.
There's like serious like eyes. Granted, I mean they're flipping huge, but you know, there's this squint.
What? It's not like she's a child. Even though you humans always change the age of consent on me.
Vinny's just kind of glaring at him at this point.
He's standing there letting you glare, and as he walks down, his brother still pawing at him, he reaches down like he's going to lovingly caress his brother and then sticks his hand straight through his chest.
Vinny watches.
He crushes the heart up, and he begins saying something in a language you've never heard before that you recognize, Vinny. Nebula, you don't know the actual language, but you've heard the grinning man use it.
Context.
Usually the language they're speaking, they use when they're doing their own contracts.
Is there a way to get out of here?
The way you came. There is a exit behind you. You have no idea exactly where it goes, though.
So
the mountain's not there.
Vinny quotes word for word exactly what he says. Because eidetic memory.
Okay. You now know that phrase. I will send it to you later on Facebook, but your whole body feels like it's on fire.
Because he said that?
Yes, like you literally feel like you're melting at the moment. Nebula, it's not as bad because you're not winter, but it burns.
I'm taking, screw the cuts. I'm taking Mockingbird.
I mean, she can get up and move on her own. She's already standing up. She's just waiting to see what you two do. Even though she literally wants to attack this guy again.
I'm going to take a hold of Vinny by the arm and basically, try and pull him back.
Does his skin hurt her hand?
No, because you're a little bit hotter, but you literally just feel a little warm compared to her, while she feels like she's on fire and you feel like you're melting. You also notice that between the sheets of silk, huge, odd flowers that don't seem physically possible in color or shape are starting to bloom.
We need to go now.
And he starts just casually walking towards you again, whistling, going, Nebula, Nebula, Nebula. If you wanted to replace your mommy at my side, we could have discussed your mask.
With all
Vinny just grits his teeth.
Sir, you can't seem to form anything correctly. At your own words.
I've formed others correctly. Just 2 have failed so far, and you, my dear, are nothing but a little, and he says something in his language, and it is a stabbing sensation with the burning now.
Vinny gets up and he runs up to him and goes face to face with Weston.
You mean with Angelo?
Oh yeah. Oh, I said Weston. Holy crap.
Yes, you did.
Is there something you're channeling here you want to tell me about?
Rude. No. No, he goes straight up to Angelo and he's just looking at him. Stop it.
Why should I? You're in my home.
Please.
Let me hear you beg.
He just kind of closes his eyes. Please. Please, just stop.
That's nicely asking. That's not begging. He has started to calm down. He still is looking at Nebula very angry because he's now noticed her spring court mantle fully. And taking his seat. Just staring at you. It'll stop when I see you on your knees, begging for it to stop.
Vinny just kind of grimaces a little bit.
Yeah, she's feels like she's on fire. There is a stabbing sensation. She's probably doubled over at this point.
Vinny slowly makes his way to his knees and he's just kind of crying.
It's alright. There's something I need to check. Okay, yep. This can happen. I needed to check something on Mockingbird and see if it would work. You see Mockingbird move fairly quickly, as if she's ready to play again, Nebula, which so is not the time. And you see her pull one of the serving trays off the table, jerk Vinny by the back of his collar towards you where she set it, say something, and push you both towards the serving tray with her. Vinny, you know what she's just done.
Oh, we're going through a mirror.
A reflective surface, yes. Tristan, as you get back to the fountain, you see a very large light in the reflective part of the liquid of the fountain, and these three spew out.
Mhm.
Well, let me take Angelo down because he didn't follow because he doesn't have mirror like you guys.
Vinny like falls over and he just starts crying.
No,
What in bloody hell?
no. All Mockingbird saying, no tears. Never cry, especially here.
He
Lash.
nods.
By the way, you see one of Nebula's lovely homemade splints for broken bones are now on Mockingbird's hand.
And Nebula is curled up into a fetal position.
She's looking at the tips of her fingers. I have black stuff on her claws. I am powerful.
Mm-hmm. So this is very amusing. You're basically saying Tristan dual-handing weapons, just like, what in the world did you three get into?
Describe it to Vincent is they look like weapons off that History Channel show Vikings.
And you will also notice that, what in the world, and she is heaving.
You also see that out of the water came something shiny Mockingbird is holding in her good hands, smiling. I take mine now. Go in room. And walks off with a very shiny silver serving tray.
Mm-hmm. You take your
Mockingbird.
She looks back. Next time I take head, she says with a nod.
Mm-hmm.
Teach me to fight him. Please.
Slow blink. You? She starts laughing. For the very first time, you hear a full-fledged laugh from Mockingbird in every voice she mimics at the same time.
So she has now become her own chorus, just like...
Basically, no. I teach you to fight, but you don't fight that.
Who in the hell was down there?
Keeper.
Ooh, not good. Not good at all.
He tastes yucky, especially below belt.
Ew. And you actually see this hardened soldier just kind of shudder like a... Okay.
She looks back to Vinny. You study with Mary. Then you will be able to fight like me. Well, hunt like me is the word she uses.
Then
Basically, she
we
in
will
her own way has just told you she uses contracts to hunt.
then we'll train. We'll get better.
She goes over to Nebula and she boops her with one of her broken fingers on the nose.
Thank you.
No tears.
No tears. I just need to make my stomach quit revolting.
Did not think Master's brother serviced him in those ways too, though. Yeah, that was set in front of you, Tristan. Enjoy that mental image.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
Why do you have sword?
Yeah, actually, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. I found this fellow that worshipped this Jormungandr earth serpent spirit thing that basically hides under the tides, and I decapitated it and took these very nice things.
How can
Nebula, you can roll an occult roll. Vinny, you could roll an occult roll, but your difficulty is going to be 9 while Nebula's is standard.
Oh,
Just straight up a cult?
Intelligence or wits with it. I don't know how many other types of creatures have come to visit you when you served in Arcadia, so
6, 6, 10, 3, 3. So 2.
2 successes for me.
something sounds not human about what he dealt with for you, Nebula. And Vinny, something about it reminds you of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Huh.
Does that have to do with vampires?
Well, the thing did bite me and was trying to suck my blood, and then I slapped it very hard and
Nebula can now do a medicine occult roll and examine that bite wound.
Yeah, Vinny has already made his way over there looking at the wound as well.
Mockingbird is too
No.
busy teasing the red liquid.
Medicine occult?
Yes, because it's a supernatural injury.
Nine, 9, 6, 7, 7.
So 2 successes.
I'm still kind of queasy on my fate.
Yeah. You know it's not human, and you know it's not goblin, and you know it's not changeling.
We need to make sure that none of those other statues get moved.
Agreed. Apparently, I had a run-in with Varney.
I
No.
don't trust what he said, she says towards Nebula. Angelo always speak false.
And
I think we need to awaken them.
And you just see Tristan going from a very happy, jovial, I just whipped the thing's ass mode into staring angrily at the fountain thing. Just, he's hiding down there.
Don't go in there.
I have already pushed my luck for one evening. I think I'm not that insane. And I'm pretty well insane. So,
What are all 3 of you doing while I make this roll?
I'm actually letting them get a good view of the weapons because Tristan was under the misapprehension because they didn't correctly diagnose PTSD back in the day. He's been thinking all this time that he was a broke down coward and that he was all washed up, so now he's feeling pretty damn sparky.
Okay.
See, Vinny is feeling his skin because he feels like he's melting.
You don't actually feel the contracts anymore from Angelo. You're out of range.
Oh, okay.
It actually is quite refreshing to be here now.
Still, he's clenching his fists and kind of.
Mockingbird got 8 successes for what she's doing behind Joel's back. The next thing you hear while you guys are studying the bite on Tristan is a loud stone smashing sound. And
I'm
you
turning around.
as you turn around, you see the fountain has toppled over and is split apart. Broke. That's all she says.
He smiles. Good riddance.
You can actually feel the glamour leaving it and going into Mockingbird. Looks like a little trickle of neon green almost.
And
Did you trap him down there?
No.
what Tristan actually does next is he just takes a little bit of blue chalk he uses to mark the, mason jars he, sells his product, and he just draws like a property line. Do not cross. Not mine.
Pity.
The pixies are like, let's go back. That was shiny.
So he actually
We need
starts.
to,
Go
we need
starts.
to, we
Kind
need
of.
to,
Beulah?
we need to get back to Ruth. Let her know that I lost one.
Vinny takes a deep breath.
He still smells alive.
The brother?
She'll nod. Yeah.
So that was just a show to mess with us.
He smells almost exactly like Angelo. The only difference is one smells of flour, the other smells of sand.
Which one smells like what?
Angela smells like flour.
She nods her head yes. And she proceeds to crawl off with her shiny new trinket that she is totally going to use as a mirror in her cell now.
So what happens next is I'm going to give the weapons to the people for a second while I'm picking up the dude.
Picking up the old woman.
Yeah.
Vinny, I will not make you roll, even though you can't fully read it, but you do recognize that some of the letters on the inscription on the bottom of this statue are in Russian.
Oh, fun.
And on closer inspection, like the rope that keeps her backpack and her staff clung to her back, where it wraps around on the front has little vials and plants stuck to it that have been turned to stone also.
Let's bring her back to Mary. It seems we're getting a collection of these.
Mary's going to
Yeah.
have a wonderful collection.
Seems like the deal. Well, seems like I'm not all used up. I killed a monster thing.
And as we wrap up this thing, because we've gone almost 2 hours, for our viewers, a little taste. A hand begins to rise from the stone chamber and crawl across that stone box. It latches around that long wooden thing sticking out of the middle of it and begins to slowly inch it out. And the next thing you hear is a very hungry, gargling growl. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing.